to see how they do it because they're slowly putting it together. And it's not about what you're doing in the past, it's about the momentum you carry into the Grand Royale. Got to put a little roll in that art, the Grand Royale. So let's see how that works out for the trio.
Teak, if perfection wasn't enough, one of the only teams to pull zone being dead center. I mean, this is just amazing. Shows just how good they are with the rotations, map management as well. It's looking so good all the way up to this point. The ammo looking dope as well. They keep moving on towards the entire game. This is just genius.
Yeah, let me expand on that. They're going to have the mats for the rotations. They have the mobility. They saved all that. They usually dip into everything that they have. They got a pad, they're going to use it no matter what. They're not going to hold on to it. So that is why they always get into the top 5 situations. And with their clutch mechanics, with the solo potential, that's why they get those bonus points. And they already did it once, and they could definitely do it again and again and again.
Might look tricky too, because you see a lot of their shields gone. A lot of the utility out of the basket, but all they really need from this point onwards is damage and those launch pads. They can just move on low ground, play box to box. One of the best parts about low ground is it's kind of like the sewer tunnels of Fortnite overall. Everyone's waste that's dropping once they get picked apart from the high ground trickles down. They get to pick up all the shields, the easy access mats, the solo players that are walking around their box. They just go for pads, stay ahead of the zone, and wait for that waste to roll in. They can just get their inventories racked up in an instant.
I'm curious. Okay, I was about to say, we'll see where are the boys at here. They've been sitting on this blue antenna well above Storm Surge, so that's good to know. And because of that, Tayson loves to rotate early. He loves to put his trios in position towards a great place, usually dead side, close to the center. But as you can see on the mini-map, they're about really close to the dead side area. They have to move a little bit more south here, but they're choosing to be here for Storm Surge to get as much potential. And Hen, no matter what the ping is, he will hit his shots. This man, no matter where, he's going to collect the bag, and he's seen it time and time again on his social media timeline, him getting so much cash cup placements.
Also going to be the trios with the, or the trio with the coldest keyboards in the lobby. They haven't moved since we tuned in like in the second circle, so their position so good overall. They're not going to fall to that antenna curse. Illocrat CTQ Hottie going to be moving around. Coolest strategy to watch from these guys. Every time I look at them, they're kind of countering different trios, kind of playing in the shadows of different builds above them. Sometimes though, it gets tricky. It hurts to watch them make a wrong move, and this might be it. The zone is moving overall. Everyone's gonna be pressured to keep rolling. They're 187 damage below that surge. Really need to make sure to catch up on things. Maybe this is why they're staying so close to other teams, but it's gonna be a struggle to get that damage at this point.
Thomas HC gets a knock on Tico, and I agree with you on that. And again, Stompy's trio and co are literally have to play defense against another team desperate for Storm Surge. And ETQ, Hottie, and Trevor and Illocrat are in trouble here, and they're definitely gonna get tripped up. They weren't even in. Now it's up to Hottie, ETQ, going up against another FNCS. Kevin Kiriachi, Toos, and Floki Clement are all here to collect the scraps. Stompy and co are rolling in, but wow.
To struggle, especially when you have to launch early. Sometimes that launch pad can act as an alley-oop, get you into another trio's box to really get that dunk in with the damage. But when you're moving first, there are no boxes made, nowhere to go. Unfortunate for them. You're calling Thomas taking out Teak. That's going to be a huge elimination. And look at them, they're going to adapt the playstyle as well, stay completely low, look to control everything and make sure they get to all stay alive for this end game.
That was a great short pad, but they're on the low side of this circle here. The upper side here, the south side, has a high vertical. If it goes up there, they're in trouble.
Yeah, if it pulls back though, their mats are going to be so efficient overall.
Yeah, okay.
They're going to be fine, and they still have, from this point, right? When you're at the lowest point of elevation, you can max pad, and that max pad turns into a short pad for the front side of the zone. It's huge.
And they have the harpoon. Thomas HC has 10 charges into that, so he could go ahead and grab any valuable loot that he sees. You're going to be looking at that. Maybe they look back into the storm. So much great things happen. And Thomas HC as well. He did some great work with that burst rifle, was able to lead some shots into some builds.
And they do pull a little bit of that zone, so no launch pad alchemy needed whatsoever. A different flavor all the way on high ground. We're going to be a little bit towards the right side of the map so you can see some of those homeowners, Astro, Michael, Verox, some Dirty Docs looking to control things overall. But how long will their reign last all the way on height? Because you know there's going to be multiple trios looking to take it.
And this trio played the most in this FNCS Grand Royale. They played so many. They are the most consistent trios. They played all the loading, reloading, rebooting, whatever you want to call it. They played the most, and they have the high ground.
The trio of the 6 paths, so to speak, then. So we'll see exactly what they do. Trouble for Thomas HD, though. Down to 10 HP. We talked about what it takes to get to this point. Sometimes it's all of your shields. It looks like they don't have that max pad to really use. Something must have gone terribly wrong. Queasy started this with 8 peppers. They barely even used them. Now, finally, rocking in with 4 and a few split on the other side. They have to play by themselves. Only to get Thomas's loot whatsoever. But find someone else's box on a launch pad. That's going to be huge. Floppers there, too, for Queasy to use. Nebs on the bottom side. But look at who's up top. Chapix, Tayson, and Hen. They're looking to get that high ground control.
And they have the mats because we've been seeing the whole time with those cold keyboards, but it's about to get hot, and they have the potential to get those elims.
We'll see exactly what they end up doing. Completely above in surge. Michael taking out Trulex. So second height is also looking strong. Everyone all the way up in the clouds and the skies has a power position to rattle on every single body below.
Here we go, folks. Is getting into the end game here for game 2. As you're seeing, Malibuka, who took out Indreda's trio so early, making some great position on the front side of the storm, looking strong. Hen gets eliminated. Aqua gets eliminated. Fresroki gets eliminated. But Malibu, Burstash, and Saito are standing hip to hip, looking strong. And they're going to try to clear out the bottom as much as possible and to take out a page from Camiseti and Teak. But Queasy is in a world of hurt, and he cannot go back-to-back with the clutch like Thomas HD.
It'll be Link's trio picking him up. Trouble in Paradise, though, as we did see Hen go down. Melody still popping in through. That's going to be him, actually, who was the one picking up Queasy. We're also going down to Shizo, so Steamy Stacks is also active inside this end game. We go all the way towards the river. A halfway point for every single team. Stash Malibuka is still alive. We're going to tune in with them to see if they can pick apart any walls. Use that harpoon to grab any other things from inside the box. Not much going to be happening all the way up in this moment. Top 10 teams actually rolling in. A person almost diving inside the box. They don't want to fall down and go towards the water. Malibuka for Stash Shizo want to stay high and dry. At the same time, Scurry really popping off. Continuing the eliminations. He rocks in. Malibuka with another Goomba stop step inside the bottom box. Goes for a different shot. Lands some big damage. Doesn't have much else to do. These guys are picking apart every team below him.
They're playing so well and picking on that low ground. You're right, Shizo. Look at this. They're dipping and diving and getting in and out as fast as possible, putting some big max damage and racking up eliminations here. Look how many they have. They lose Shizo. Malibuka now has got solo by himself, but still a great performance here. They could get into the top 5. Nice hit. Yes. Knocked. Eliminated. Malibuka is on fire.
Thrusters down. Now the Rocket Malibuka is just left to take the team all the way to the moon. Zone also bouncing back, so he has a little bit of time to breathe. At the same time, 4ZR, I saw him active somewhere. He gets traded out. Yes, it's Malibuka. He was the one that actually just picks him up. 47 points for them. They're really going all the way for that first place slot. A lot of eliminations too to wrap things up, but a quiet time now for every single team. Top 6 situation. No one really going down just yet. The match is going to be strained. Malibuka as the solo has to cover every single angle inside this box. Staying hidden for now. River down below. Logran also catching up to him, so every layer is going to get squeezed. Chat spots. Ari's there too, and Michael takes down Artist. So a little bit of an industry of mid-ground antics going on inside this end game. Malibuka, though, staying nice and quiet as Verox and Michael right above him, and also dropping down below. Tayson and Chapix all the way on height, looking to wrap up this game. Verox is getting close and personal. Malibuka, though, might be the driving factor, the changing force. He looks for the first shot. 101 to the backside of a different player. He's going for the full finish. That's Verox down. Can this clutch be possible for Malibuka? He'll go back into the zone, just wood up right above him. He's looking for the next shot over and make sure he pops a little bit of health. We're going for this next fight. 84 with a big edit. He rolls in, still going through. 1 feet 2. Malibuka has the high ground and the pump, but it's not enough. He gets denied. Chapix is there to make sure his team stays high and dry. What a solo performance, though, and what a game 2 from EU.
It took FNCS champions to take down the Steam King. Chapix and Tayson get the job done, and Chapix with 6 eliminations, and we get a taste of the pop-off, baby. It's Grand Royale. Game 2 goes to Hen, Chapix, and Tayson.
Look at that, just the happiness, the emotion from that win, the momentum build up so early in the day and the weekend. That's what Grand Royale is all about. And what a clutch as well. Another solo one we're watching from the side of Malibuka. That was just insane, especially off a contested POI.
You need those clutches. We saw the boys broke down in the desk. The 20 points looking good. Let's take it to the boys.
Hello, we're the boys. What's up? Oh my gosh. First of all, production, let's talk about that dope clip of that win. I love that. That's what I live for, Levin, is those moments in the chaos, that pure bliss where you could say, I got the victory royale in those clutch moments. Absolutely incredible, of course, Tayson, Chapix, and Hen picking up the victory royale with 6 eliminations. And this is all done while Hen gets picked off earlier on, which is impressive, right? Doing this as a duo heading into those last moments of the game, super tough to pull off.
Yeah, look, of course they did it as a duo, but when you have Tayson and Chapix, they count for like 5 players, right? Like, you know, these guys are phenomenal. It's no surprise to me there what they're able to do. Again, another instance of a player just as a solo sort of popping off. Malabuko was phenomenal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's another situation where pressure has just formed a diamond here. Ridiculous shots he was hitting, as he always seems to do in these moments.
Yeah, 100%. And it all started off spawn. Yeah, again, like Malabuka was just on fire. Same with the whole team, let's be real. We saw the big beam onto Andrea from his POV. We didn't end up seeing it, obviously, from, what was it, when he was picking up Benji at the same time. And from this just sets you up. This is 2 games now that they've won off spawn. 2 games that they've managed to dominate so far. And it's not looking good for Benji Fish's team. And that rain continued into the end game as well, right? Like I said, that set them up. They got the Storm Surge damage there. They got the confidence. They got 3 more elims in the mid game. But when it came to the end game, like the solo clutch was ready.
And for me, I think the worrying thing, if you're anybody else in the lobby, when Malabuka's in such effervescent shooting form, right? When he's just feeling it, when he's just swinging around, throwing out pump shots, handing out pump shots to everybody else in the lobby, you're gonna have a really hard time. Props to Tayson and Chapix from stopping themselves from being like an all-time, like that was all, if he had won the 1v2, like that's just an all-time like Fortnite moment right there. And then, you know, they're remembered, you know, more so for that. But, you know, they won out the game, it's good. They're back up higher in the standings. I think it's really important for them after the way that last FNCS went, where it was a bit sloppy here and there. Obviously Hen, hopefully we don't have more games where Hen's going down early in the end, he can be with them in that final winning moment. But yeah, it's a good start from these guys, definitely.
I mean, it's also important that the fact that since they lost 10, they were still able to capitalize on that, right? You know, I'd say potentially previously in Season 8, I wouldn't have had that confidence yet in this team, obviously, when they were with Reason instead of Hen. But they were still able to work as a duo so efficiently. Chapix picking up 6 eliminations total. We saw the 3 in the feed go down, just one after another, after another, after another. He hit the huge pop-off and clutched that up big time. And obviously, that ended up winning them the entire second game.
It's weird seeing that team on height to an extent, because there's so many teams in the lobby who you think, how come they're not on height this game? We saw some of the teams, right? We obviously saw the team that won game 1 struggling with Surge. I feel like Surge is a really big issue for a lot of the teams. The games have been incredibly stacked. Positioning's all over the place, it seems. For a lot of these guys, it's gonna be a battle. Absolute battle all day long.
This is just game 2, Levin. Just think about that for a moment. I'm also thankful production cannot record me, because when Chapix landed that last 1 pump, I about lost my mind. But you know what? That's enough from us for right now. We're going to kick it back on over to Shy Wager and Sancho West for game number 3.
A battle all day long. Kind of sounds like a war, Sancho, right? And that's what it's going to be for all these teams, especially if you're taking down 2 players and that last solo just levels completely up.
It's not a guarantee anymore. It's not a guarantee. I think Levin said it the best, is you could get clipped easily on the other side. Everyone has the skill, everyone has the mechanics, everyone has that clutch gene to be able to pull out the impossible. And we saw it so many countless times, and what a fitting way to close out this year of FNCS with Grand Royale, the most skilled lobby so far since, I guess, what, the primal season that we have here. So much excitement has already happened, and I cannot wait. We're gonna get some good clips out of this one.
Absolutely. Game 3, sometimes that turning point as well for a lot of teams. That's where they start to go towards their plan B. So we might see a lot of different things off the rip, off spawn. Might see some new contestations. One's going to be the same though, Sancho. Who do you have at this time though? Is it Mustache or Mr. Savage rolling in at Simi Stacks?
I don't know, man. Malabuka is handing out pumps, like Levin is saying, left and right, like it's flowers. I mean, I want Andretta, Savage, and Benji. I mean, it's just showing you that whoever walks out of that power position, that power POI, will do well. It's just historically has developed many FNCS champions out of it. So if Andretta, Savage, and Benji could just get off the mat, they could get rolling, they could definitely have something here. But it has to start now in game 3. I mean, yes, you could rely on that day 2 where all the points are doubled, but at the same time, Malabuka could double the points on you, and you become easy from a 2-point to a 4-point. It's game 3, folks. We're gonna have the ball.
We'll see that fight actually drop off later as the bus starts all the way from the bottom side of the map, but at the same time, lots of different teams will be looking to land and hold on to their lead. We have Hen Tayson Chapix all the way at that top spot, 80 points. Kefi, PKR, and Melody rolling in just 9 points behind them. And then Michael, Astro, Verox, they started on top at height, and they stay inside that top 3.
The only engagement right now that will be happening early, we'll keep an eye on the feed